wild stat to get your weekend off to a fun start. The Packers have won 4 games this season. In each of those 4 games, they have scored exactly 27 points. So we know already what the key is to defeating them. Let them score literally anything else. Good morning to you. Good Friday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Steelers, presented by FanDuel. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into hockey and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Penguins and Pirates in the same place that you found this. Steelers versus Green Bay will be an 8:20 kick Sunday night at Acrisure Stadium. The Packers, who are 4-1-1, are one of only 2 teams left in the entire NFL to have just one loss, the other being the Colts, who are 6-1. And, of course, they come next. And after that, it's a flight way out to L.A. to take on the Chargers, who have the number 1 passer in the league, Justin Herbert. And then it'll be Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and the Bengals all over again. So there are 4 significant challenges ahead for this football team, specifically from the defensive perspective, which isn't to come close to suggesting that the remainder of this schedule is some sort of cakewalk. The Bears aren't what they used to be. Then come the Bills. Then the Ravens, who the Steelers still have to face twice, might be the toughest opponent they have left on the schedule. Don't laugh that off. And the Dolphins, and then the Lions, who just might be the best team in football. We'll see about that. And that alone is why I'm going to take what might be an unpopular stance here. I can't worry about reactions to it. That I'm not all that concerned about the outcome this weekend. I'm not all that concerned if the Steelers win or lose this game. I'm way more concerned, and materially so, in whether or not there can be some sort of rediscovery or new discovery that sets a new foundation for this defense. I don't think you're going to see this defense be able to just shrug it off. Yeah, it was Cincinnati. It was a rough night, short week. We weren't ready. We'll be better, which is what I've been hearing from these guys this week when I've spoken with them. And it sounds good, and it's settling, and it's soothing, and it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They have to go out and perform, and I will take that over a W. I really will. Because if they end up with, say, a 40-40 tie, which is what happened with the Packers' lone tie, that came against the Cowboys, who can't stop anybody, but who also can't really be stopped, then you're going to continue to see this defense either drag down further or just kind of stay the same with the clock expiring toward being able to realistically improve. I'll take the defense getting well. I'll take the defense getting well in a 13-10 loss, because there's not going to be anything else that matters this season if that doesn't get right. We can analyze the offense. We can praise Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Warren, DK Metcalf, Arthur Smith, but there is something of a cap on that side as I see it. I don't view this offense as being one that can take over games or just outgun opponents every week. That's not really the way it's set up. That's not the way this starting 11's aligned. Yeah, we saw some big plays in Cincinnati. I don't know that that's going to be a steady thing. For me, the big plays are mostly going to be Metcalf or bust. And it's asking a ton of anyone to generate, 4 or 5 of those in a single game. They have to reset this defense. They have to be able to just push a big escape button and just begin anew if needed. This is the time it's needed. This is the place it's needed at home. Build up the ego a little bit, build up some confidence. Be a little bit more self-aware of a defensive identity before Indianapolis comes in the following week. If you shut down Jacobs, does it mean you can shut down Jonathan Taylor? Not necessarily, but it sure wouldn't hurt. If you shut down Love, does it mean you can shut down Herbert? No, but it doesn't hurt. I already don't like this week, and I've shared this with you, that first Mike Tomlin and then yesterday Terrell Austin just kept citing again and again having to stop the run, as if that's just going to be some cure-all for everything that ails the secondary. This was Austin on that subject yesterday on the South Side.
I got a simple answer for you. We have to stop the run. When you allow teams to run, then it opens up all kinds of things. It opens up play action pass. It opens up, or it shrinks your menu, because what you do now is you're doing things to make sure you have to bring possibly extra guys down to try to stop the run. So the bottom line is we got to be able to stop the run, and then I think that opens up and allows us to play well.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not buying that. I'm also not even going to buy that it's coming from Austin, considering Tomlin said almost exactly the same thing in almost exactly the same words 2 days earlier, and I think we have a pretty good idea of who's the real boss when it comes to the defense. They or he want to protect the secondary and their coverage people concept, and nobody's ready to admit that they were wrong about that. So what's the way around that? Well, let's talk about shutting down the run. Now, shutting down the run is a noble thing. It's not a wasted effort if you can pull it off. I just feel that eventually you're going to need to restructure a lot of things, and now might be as good a time as any to just get done what you're going to get done. But hey, one way or another, the defense has to come through, even if that's in an L. When we come back, J1Q. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George is a personal injury law firm in Western Pennsylvania that represents injured people in automobile accidents, workers' compensation cases, and medical malpractice claims. The attorneys at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George pride themselves in doing what they say they're going to do. It's important to them that when they make you a promise, they keep that promise. And this law firm has been keeping promises for over 80 years. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George has been AV rated. That's the highest rating a law firm can receive for legal ability and ethics. And the lawyers at the firm have been designated super lawyers, that's a real thing, for over 15 years. Rare combination there. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George has offices in Cranberry, Newcastle, Beaver Falls, Butler, and Elwood City. Learn more about them at lgkg.com or by calling 888-842-5454. Again, that's 888-842-5454. Football season's finally here. Time to check out the latest odds, futures, and win totals on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Think the Steelers are headed to the Super Bowl? Lock in your bets today. Whatever your game, FanDuel Sportsbook delivers the latest lines, futures, and specials so you can join in on all the action. For those of you who are doing real work in construction, in a warehouse, if you're a mechanic, you want reliable, comfortable gear to help you perform well on the job. Brunt Workwear's got you. They've got waterproof boots, safety toe, soft toe, pull-on, lace-up, whatever you need. You can wear them to work, and if they're not right for you, send them back. I don't know of any other brand doing that. Brunt was tired of the workwear brands out there cutting corners. You work too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up. So they built something better. Boots that are insanely comfortable and built for any job site. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off. Just head to bruntworkwear.com. Use the code DK Sports and you're good to go. After you order, they'll ask you where you heard about Brunt. Do us a favor here at DK Pittsburgh Sports and tell them it was from this show. Today's J1Q comes from Lester Holmes, who says, "Can we stop acting as if losing a division game by 2 points coming off 4 days rest is the end of the world? They had a bad game, happens throughout the NFL. Respectfully, DK, the defense does not have to start over. Just as the Bengals game is on tape, so is the Browns game. The defense has shown an ability to play better this season. I believe they will. Lester, you could be completely correct. If you think I'm going to try to rebut that, no, not at all. In fact, if you've been listening closely, and I did this in the opening segment today, I am very much leaving open the possibility that the Steelers could have just had what you said, a bad game, and that they can bounce right back from it. That's the reason that I went around the room and talked to pretty much every member of the secondary, and that's, I'm sure, the reason that all those guys had essentially the same answer. That it's a long season, it's no big deal, it sucked at the time, it can get better, it probably will get better, and they might be right. What I am stressing here, is that this was not a one-game issue. They did not sink to 31st in the NFL in pass defense in Cincinnati. They've been giving up a ton of yards through the air almost every game this season. I'm also emphasizing that it's getting dark outside. You know, there's some really big hills to climb here beginning Sunday night against Green Bay. So if you're right, Lester, good for you, better for the Steelers. I'm not making predictions. I never do. I would welcome seeing what you're describing to the extreme that I'd take it in an L, as I just said. But I will come back at you with this. The notion that they just had a bad game and it happens, and responding to it that way from the coach's level, no. That part, that doesn't fly for me. If you feel so strongly that you as the head coach or you as the defensive coordinator can stand there and say that it's about run defense, but you don't do anything differently in terms of schematics or personnel, you just say, go tackle harder, that's not it. Let's see some alignments change. Let's see some names change. Let's see Nick Herbig get on the field in one form or other. No, that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with run defense. I just mean I want him on the field. Let's stop doing insane things like dropping Deshaun Elliott deep into coverage as if he's the free safety rather than having him, one of the NFL's elite tacklers, up closer to the line of scrimmage. That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. It's not going to just happen because somebody hopes harder. I appreciate hearing from you, Lester. I appreciate everyone who listens to Daily Shot of Steelers. We will have a double shot coming your way at 4 p.m. Eastern today. Really hoping you can be with us. That's a live show. Thanks so much for being right here.